Rapido Josh here again, and today I'm going to show you the production models of our first run of our HO scale bi-level commuter cars, and I'll also go through an unboxing and show you a lot of the amazing details and how the cars work.
Wrong bi-levels. When are the Metro ones coming out?
You be quiet over there, Internet. Your time will come. So while we're actually recording this video, we're working on getting these models shipped out in the most appropriate means we can find. So this actually isn't the first video we've done on the HO scale bi-level commuter cars. We've done some in the past as well, where we actually went over some of the prototype information. If you'd like to look at that, click the link up above. If you'd like to be notified on when we do more awesome videos like this, click the subscribe button down below. If you really like this video, click the thumbs up right below me. If you want to learn more prototype information and read up on the entire history of these cars, go way down below, and there's a link in the description. Whatever you do not click over there. We don't know what's over there. We don't want to know what's over there. Just don't click over there. So now that we got that unboxed, let's see what we all get in the packaging. So first we've got our set of instructions. This gives a brief history, how the lighting works, different warranty informations, couplers, basically everything you need to know about the car. We've also got our little lovely advertising pamphlet on how you can get hold of us and how you can follow us for more videos and information. We've got an exploded parts diagram for the commuter cars. This is the cab coach insert because this is a cab coach. So it gives you a full detail on breakdown on parts for both the earlier and later versions. This wonderful little piece of paper here, this gives you a full breakdown on how the cab car lighting works, how to set it up for DC or DCC, and if you have your own decoder, what the different lighting functions are so you can program your decoder to control your cab car. And then finally a sticker, because who doesn't love stickers? So that's the documentation. So let's open this up and have a look what's inside. So we got our magnetic wand, which controls the interior lighting as well as the cab car lighting, but only in DCC. A little bit more about that in a second. Here we have our DCC only plug. Now, we probably should have installed these from the factory, but hindsight is 2020. This will give you lighting control using the magnetic wand on DCC powered track. If you just put the cab car on the tracks as it is, it's not going to work correctly because there is a DC only chip currently in the car. So I will also show you how to install this and get rid of the old one. But so that's a separate piece in a package. And then we can just open up the blister and then have a closer look at the car. Now this is a cab car, very crisp and clean painting. Looking closer, you can see we've got different colored paint on the roof for the anti-slip markings around the air conditioner hatches, the bell and the horn. Sinclair antenna, we've got separate grab irons, grills, we've got details on the ends with extra grab irons, diaphragms, including underneath, but I'll go over that in a little more detail in a second. Out of the package, these cars will work on DC. So when you turn the power on, you have your train moving forward, the cab car lighting will appear as it's trailing, so red marker lights. If you reverse the direction of your locomotive so that it's pushing the train, you will get your headlights, ditch lights, and number board lights on with power on DC. So that works out of the box, but for DCC, I'm going to show you how to install that chip. So already I've got 4 business cards tucked into the sides. There's little clips on either side right beside the doors, and those are what generally holds the car together. You get these cards in, it separates the clips from the body. The body generally just pulls right out with a little bit of force. What I will say is when you're trying to take this car apart, try to pull from the couplers easily, wiggle it back and forth, and eventually the pressure will release and the car will come apart. Do not pull from the steps, they will bend and break, and try not to pull from the truck either because there's a lot of detail parts on the truck. And just like that, we're separate. Take the shell and set that aside. And there we go. We'll just set it nicely on this part so we don't break the steps. All right, so just going over some of the details on the interior lighting board. So at this end, this is our cab end. You can see the walls here for the driver's cab. This housing here is actually a pair of speakers. So if you wish to put in your own 21-pin DCC decoder, you can program in sounds, whether it be the bell, horn, maybe air brakes, brake squeal. The speakers are already installed, so you don't have to worry about that at all. In the middle here, under the U3, that's the sensor for the interior lighting. You wave the magnetic wand over that, it toggles it on and off. The default is on, just in case you hit a bit of bad track. But these also have a capacitor, which you can see here. So it takes about maybe a second and a half of bad track or no power for the lights in these cars to fully dim out and turn off. And on this end, now remember, this is the non-cab end. This installed here, that's the DC plug. So this car will only work from the factory on DC trackage. The interior lights will still work, but the cab lights will only have like 1.5 lights on. Don't tell me how that works. I'm not a DCC expert like Mohan. So what you will need to do if you run DCC power is remove this and install instead the DCC plug, which is in a poly bag in the package. And this will give you full lighting control of your cab car. It does not control the interior lights. That's fully separate on the wand, but it will allow you to change from a leading state, which is your number boards, ditch lights, and your headlights, to a trailing state, which is just your red marker lights. And since we've got the car open, one cannot ignore the fact that these have a very, very detailed interior. Generally speaking, most cars have 2-color interiors. We have the orange cab walls that were very unique with these cars around the cab. And we've also got the blue seats. And let's not forget the underbody. We've got our etched see-through walkway steps at all the doors. We've got our air tanks. We've got our air lines throughout. Very detailed inside bearing trucks with wheel bearings. These roll incredibly well, as we showed in our earlier video. And just to reiterate, these will work best on a 22-inch radius or above. Just because of the design of the car, 18-inch radius was just not practical. All right, just one thing to make sure that when you're putting the models back together, try not to be too forceful. These are very detailed models. They will fit together fairly easily. You might have to do a little bit of wiggling. You might have to reintroduce the business cards, but one thing to be very cautious of is on the cab, there is foam on either side of the marker lights and ditch lights. That's just to prevent light bleed. Just be extra cautious when you're putting the car together. It is a fairly tight fit, so you don't want to end up doing any additional damage. But once you get past that point, the car will fairly accurately just snap back together, just like that. So that's a detailed look at our HO scale bi-level commuter car, as well as the detailed unboxing and how these cars work. Be sure to check our website for availability if you haven't already placed your orders, or you can also contact your favorite hobby shop for more information.
Why are you not doing Coaster? Why does Rapido obviously not appreciate the San Diego coaster market?
As with a lot of our other projects, we can only do so much, and this was only the first run. Rest assured, we've got a lot of options to go from here, whether it be existing paint schemes or new paint schemes, like Sounder or Rail Runner or Coaster.
Why aren't you doing them in N scale?
All right, Internet, that's enough out of you for today. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Yeah, I'll get it.
Tape is cheap.
What?
Tape is cheap.
What's a tape?
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Never forget.
I forgot.